Bon, bienvenue à notre troisième capsule vidéo, visite virtuelle pour l'édition Porte ouverte 2020. On va vous présenter le château à Moncton, le manoir.
So everybody recognizes this building. You should if you live in the Moncton area. It's Castle Manor, Alcorn Manor, Mary's Home School. So officially for dedication wise, it got a plaque. It just says Mary's Home because originally it was Mary's Home School for foundlings and orphans.
C'est ça. Originalement, c'était conçu pour être un foyer pour orphelins. C'était ça l'idée derrière la construction originale de l'édifice. On est sur le coin Archibald et Moncton, pour ceux qui ne savent pas. Puis ça, c'est la façade sud-est.
And we're actually standing in what will become or is Parc René Arthur Fréchette, who was the architect behind this building. Fred Leblanc, local contractor, built the building using gray freestone from a quarry in
Notre-Dame. C'est ça, la pierre franche grise qu'on voit ici provient d'un carrier, le carrière Notre-Dame.
So it was a religious initiative. It was going to be run by nuns, but never opened as that. While it was being finished, there was an educational space crunch.
C'est ça, il y avait une surpopulation des écoles ici à la ville de Moncton pendant la construction du foyer pour orphelins, qu'a mis en évidence le besoin de convertir l'édifice dans une école.
So the same sisters that would have been taking care of orphans became the teachers and opened Mary's Home School, which people today remember attending. Mountain Road School ended up in this park. There was a school right where we're standing called Mountain Road School.
Il y avait une école juste ici sur le terrain?
Yep.
Okay.
A traditional kind of brick, rectangular building with this in the background.
Wow,
so this would have been So 1905, 1908, that's how long it took to build. The initial
06?
Yeah.
06.
Yeah. In
1906
05, Father Meehan, Reverend Meehan, had the idea to build it, but he passed away, and then Father Savage started the process in 1906. By 1908, it opens as a school.
Oui, ben c'est ça. En fait, si j'ai bien compris, c'est le deuxième établissement dans la ville de Moncton qui a permis l'éducation en français. Puis ça, c'était grâce aux sœurs de charité, je pense, qui étaient associées avec l'église Saint-Bernard.
Yeah, so the Roman Catholic Church, I mean, it was a religious initiative to begin with. So back then, 1908, the religions ran a lot of the schools. I mean, that was part of it. But 1908, you're still trying to... you think of the environment for francophones and anglophones wasn't the best environment. So to actually have a school to allow French language,
Fait que ça a eu un impact très positif dans les débuts de l'éducation francophone ici à Moncton. Puis eux, ces prêtres qu'on vient de mentionner, étaient affiliés avec l'église Saint-Bernard, qui est la paroisse la plus ancienne de la ville de Moncton. Fait qu'il y a un lien très fort avec notre histoire de développement de l'enseignement, mais aussi de religieux aussi.
So this sort of Norman style Gothic building, up here you have crenellated parapets.
C'est ça, les parapets, que j'ai appris des mots, là, les parapets crénelés qu'on voit ici, et aussi en gradin, juste sur ta tête, en gradin. Ça, c'est des éléments très audacieux qu'on verrait pour mettre l'emphase sur un château fortifié. Mais là, il y a d'autres éléments qui contrastent avec ça, qui donnent plus l'allure d'une cathédrale. Il y a les arches gothiques, comme qu'on voit dans les tourelles, des éléments très verticaux et quand même ouverts. Il y a beaucoup de fenêtres. Fait que...
Yeah, and very symmetrical placement of the windows. And before we head inside, we'll just talk about this. You see that the stone's different right here.
Oui.
This sort of detail, the crenellation, you look at old postcards and things like that, it actually carried all the way across. but they infilled and created another story that actually is now a penthouse that takes over the entire top floor, but has the shortest ceiling height because it's added. So the subsequent floors have huge ceilings.
12 pieds de haut pour les...
This one almost feels claustrophobic. Once you visit all the other ones, all of a sudden the ceiling is a regular height versus 12 feet or 20 feet in the chapel or whatever.
C'est vrai, je me demande pourquoi ils ont fait ça. Mais en tout cas, ça c'était ajouté en 1930. Fait quand même plus d'une vingtaine d'années par la suite. Peut-être qu'ils avaient besoin plus d'espace.
Yeah, they did some infill and then they really modernized it in the 1980s when it became Alcorn Manor. They really kind of tried to capitalize on space, get as many people in as they could. So, Castle Manor. Let's go take a look inside.
Oui,
it is doors open, by the way, so let's go take a look inside. So here we are inside the building. So we've just come from outside where it's impressive. C'est impressionnant. We have a castle really downtown in Moncton.
Puis là, quand tu rentres ici, c'est toute une autre histoire. C'est très moderne.
Yeah, this kind of lobby entry area could be a condo in any metropolis in North America, really.
Hotel, n'importe quoi.
All kinds of beautiful artwork. Now, the developers originally had an idea for an actual art gallery, but logistic-wise for public entrance and stuff, but they made sure to include it. So their lobby has local, very nice artwork throughout, as well as within some of the rooms.
Oui, vous allez voir que la collection artistique se trouve un peu partout dans l'édifice, ce qui est vraiment beau. C'est vraiment bien d'avoir voulu intégrer quelque chose, un élément plus artistique dans l'édifice, dans le projet.
Yeah, I think that comes from the whole thing being a piece of art. You know, they thought artistically. So what's kind of neat is you go from outside to inside. There's a contrast, a juxtaposition. The whole building is like that.
Ben oui, ben c'est ça. En voyageant dans l'édifice, comme tu dis, il y a toujours le contraste entre le moderne et l'original, l'ancien. Ici, on ne le voit pas tout de suite, mais...
As soon as you turn the corner, you're instantly given a reminder, like throughout the whole building, oh yeah, I'm in an old, massive, beautifully built building.
C'est ça, il y a des éléments un peu partout qui vont te rappeler que c'est un édifice de 1908. Fait que, allons voir dans le coin là.
So this is the first corner. As soon as you come in that first entryway, you turn the corner, massive brick arch, exposed brick. You take any turn within this building, there's something that they've left to show you're in a very special, very old, well-built, massive building.
Ouais, c'est une vraiment belle manière de conserver l'élément historique de l'édifice en nous donnant des petits rappels visuels comme ça.
So if you're going through from an apartment to the elevator to the lobby, you'll catch a few original elements. But if you're one of these health conscious people and you want to take the stairs,
ça vous tente pas de prendre l'ascenseur, prenez les escaliers.
Why? What a treat. What a treat you're going to get.
Ouais.
So we're in the stairwell that runs from the basement all the way to the top floor. And you actually, exposed brick is pretty normal.
Oui, mais des pierres grises. Hey,
look at the stone as you go, and a support pillar, all kept with openings to show you, like it really, the staircase feels independent from the structure, like you don't want to impede on the structure kind of feeling. So it's kind of floating, it's kind of, but you have these pillars, you have openings showing you the size and scope.
Regarde la lumière qui rentre ici. Ça, c'est-tu des pierres de la carrière Notre-Dame?
That's right, yeah.
Oui,
Notre-Dame, yeah. And as you can tell, a lot of buildings, the stone was just a veneer. They built it with brick or wood, and then they veneered it.
Ça,
this is solid.
Oui.
And Jay was telling us that in the wintertime, they worried about keeping it warm while they were renovating during minus whatever in mid-January, February.
L'escalier?
The whole building.
Tout l'édifice avait peur.
So thermally insulating. To get the cold to come all the way into the building, that cold has to penetrate like feet of stone. So they actually took very little heat, a lot less than I thought, because of the nature of this stone. So warm in the winter, cool in the summer, because the heat just doesn't transfer through these
Ça isole bien.
enormous walls. Yeah.
C'est très, très, très épais, si on voit.
You can even see some wood left over from the manufacturing.
Tu vois l'épaisseur du mur. C'est sa fenêtre, puis ça, c'est le mur fini là. Ah, oui,
it does get thinner as you go up, so the whole thing is almost built like pyramid-wise. Like you don't need as much support the higher up you go, but the thickest walls are basement here, and then they get thinner and thinner. So we're basically just hovering above the ground floor. So this is the heaviest stone, the thickest walls in the whole place.
Qu'est-ce que tu t'as parlé de? Il y a des éléments en bois ici. C'est quoi ça?
That would have just been leftover support material from the original structure. So instead of trying to take the wood completely out, they just cut the wood in situ and left it exposed and didn't cover it. Yeah. And then these balustrades, beautiful.
Balustres tournés. Un élément vraiment, c'est ornemental, c'est vraiment beau.
And this would have been added later. So this is what it originally would have looked like, and then they have your more modern. So he did something very well. When he went modern and new, he didn't try to necessarily copy all the time. One of the worst things that when you do that, it's like, oh, you're trying to trick me, but I can tell what's old and new. So he was very careful.
Ouais, ça,
this is old,
moderne, c'est évident.
This is modern. And that's actually the right, unless you're doing a restoration of something like the Free Meeting House where you don't expect any modern elements. This is, now it's a modern condo building. It's a modern building. So you expect some modern things, but I want to know quickly.
Ça, c'est l'original.
Original, old. So you see that throughout, and they've really done a very good job of highlighting the modern and leaving the original.
Je suis d'accord. Puis l'escalier là, c'est 3 étages ou 4 étages?
It's a weird, there's sort of a basement and then there's 3 stories, 4 stories, so yeah.
Quelque chose de vraiment le fun à faire là, c'est de regarder là-bas d'en haut puis de regarder par en bas.
Yeah.
Tu vois la spirale, on va vous montrer une photo de ça, c'est vraiment beau.
Cool. Let's head to my favorite, the chapel room.
Ok, on vient de monter les escaliers là, un peu essoufflé parce que... Mais il fallait juste qu'on vous montre les détails. Ici, regarde les arcs gothiques, c'est beau. On est rendu presque au penthouse.
Yeah, we might not have access. It is, they believe, occupied right now. But to me, where we're going next, the chapel room is to me the nicest one in the place.
Je suis d'accord. Fait qu'on va vous montrer le bijou de l'édifice, la chapelle. Alors voilà, là on est rendu à la chapelle, un espace vraiment impressionnant.
Now, people that remember the chapel when it wasn't divided, it was pretty impressive. I mean, this was essentially a 2-story chapel with the huge curved vaulted kind of front to it. This wasn't the first group that had a plan for this that subdivided, but the way that this was subdivided into 2 stories actually captures elements of the whole chapel on this floor and on the floor below. So
d'accord, ils ont pris la chapelle, ils l'ont divisée dans 2 étages.
This was a huge tall space.
Wow,
yeah.
On est dans la partie supérieure de la chapelle en ce moment.
Yeah.
C'est énorme.
Oh, it's huge. So we're going to take a look around, but to me, there is a penthouse that is the entire top floor. But what's interesting is it has the lowest ceilings because that floor was added on later.
En 1930, oui.
Yeah. So the fact that you added on, they didn't go that full height like the rest of the building. So personally for me, penthouse is awesome. The views, you go to every corner, you see Magnetic Hill and Riverview.
Tu vois toutes les tours d'eau de chaque ville.
Yeah. But for me, impression-wise, you walk in, this is a huge, beautiful space. To me, this is my favorite unit in the whole place. So why don't we take a little tour around and see what they did with the place.
Suivez-nous, on va voir qu'est-ce qu'on peut voir.
Let's get some.
Alors, voici encore une fois, juste pour vous montrer comment c'est vraiment, vraiment haut. C'est quoi les plafonds sont...
Oh, 20 feet? Ish?
Vingtaine
Yeah,
de
yeah,
pieds.
it goes way, and that's half the chapel. Like
C'est
that's
juste la moitié
yeah,
en plus.
yeah.
Puis il y a d'autres détails vraiment le fun, des chapiteaux, des cornices détaillées, ornementées.
The piliers,
Les piliers.
yeah. The pillars, they left them natural wood. Everything else is white, but you get things like, boy, it's hard to see, but these rosettes along this sort of vault
Ah
up
oui,
here.
les médaillons, regardez.
Les rosettes, oh, there you go.
Les rosettes.
All the way up there.
Juste ici, vous voyez? Là. Puis, c'est divisé dans différents espaces. Je vais te laisser prendre la caméra pour voir où qu'on va y aller.
Okay.
Suivez-nous.
So yeah, it's they have two kind of wings that would have been maybe utilitarian back at the time or confessionals or something, but you turn them into rooms,
Il veut
functioning
faire
rooms.
des
Yeah.
chambres à cette heure, parce que l'espace est loué comme on a mentionné, sur Airbnb pour des événements, mais il va aussi faire des chambres. Fait que ceci, ça sera une des chambres. Puis comme vous pouvez voir, regardez l'arche ici, il y a une ouverture, il y a encore la brique.
So it had the architecture inside like a church, so you would have had sort of naves, apses, and so this would have been sort of a side wing between these open archways. But can you imagine you've had a party and you're the host and you get to stay here and there'd be furniture in here and you wake up and you see that the archways right in your own room, the arched windows visible from the outside,
Ouais, c'est
like really
impressionnant.
cool. With your own. The bathrooms are all the same.
Oui,
They're all
oui,
very,
c'est ça.
very modern bathrooms. Beautiful, beautiful bathrooms.
Fait que ça donne une idée de toutes les autres salles de bain dans l'édifice. Parce qu'ils ont gardé le même style, sauf dans le penthouse. Apparemment, dans le penthouse, c'est toute une autre histoire.
And there's some more artwork, like we talked about before. They talked about art from the very beginning, and they really carried that through all of the units.
Mm-hmm.
So come back out.
Puis moi, j'adore cette fille-là, les arches, les briques qu'on peut encore voir. Je trouve que c'est une bonne idée d'avoir gardé ça.
So this is another side room that you have to step down to, but they could have easily covered up those very thick brick arches, but like I said, you look at it and it's white and clean and modern, but then you turn your head and all of a sudden you're reminded, we're in an old, beautiful, beautiful building. So we'll take a look down here.
Fait que ceci, ça sera comme un peu comme un salon. Ils vont ajouter un lit, mais ce sera plus comme un sofa bed, je pense. Fait que ce sera plus une place pour jouer des jeux, regarder la télévision. Mais regardez ça, avec les fenêtres.
Yeah, amazing. So your views, even at this level, are, I think this is the third floor, so you're getting views almost to downtown. You're getting up there. I mean, it's pretty.
Ouais, je vois pas la rivière, là, mais.
No, but it's up there. Yeah. So they strategically left exposed brick just so that your eye catches it every now and then as a reminder of where you are. And now it seems there was always this space behind the chapel. And I believe these are storage for chairs when they have little events and such. So this passageway actually goes all the way around. So you get this some storage back there. To me, if I owned it, there'd be a wine. That'd be where my wine would be, you know. Yeah. So now we're the other direction, and there actually is a loft up there. And you have to take this, can you see it over here? Spiral staircase. Beautiful spiral staircase to take you to the loft.
Est-ce que, ben, j'imagine qu'ils ont ajouté l'escalier?
Yes, yeah, that was an add-on, and that was a very sort of an expensive idea. And I talked to Jay about it, and he said wanted it, absolutely had to happen, and that's why it's here. He was not going to do it if he couldn't get a spiral staircase to go up to the loft.
Est-ce que vous allez voir quand on arrive, on a une meilleure vue des russes. Est-ce que c'est des... Je pense que c'est des originaux.
Yes. So now here we are at the loft. You see these beautiful chandeliers all the way down. So you're having a little party up here, but there's a small bathroom up here. So this is a little unit. That's probably a Murphy bed, I would guess. It probably pulls right out, yeah. And so you get a closer look at the rosettes sort of motif along that curved vaulting up there.
Nice.
It's here, it's cool. What a great, great, great space.
Oui, puis ils ont bien fait de tout minimiser, comme le mettre blanc. Ça modernise, mais ça garde encore vraiment bien les détails. Je trouve que...
It is. I mean, you could have... Traditionally, those would have been a different color. There would have been contrasting colors. But to make it modern and leave them, and then to leave a few little elements exposed, like some of the brick, makes it even more eye-catching. So you can easily get lost in just sort of the size and scope, and then bing, you see some exposed brick. Bing, you see the chandeliers. Bing, you see some stone, and it kind of takes you to...
Imaginez en 1908 comment ça aurait vraiment été.
Yeah. So that's the end of our tour. This is the chapel room. So this is Airbnb. It can be rented. So thank you very much to the owners and management letting us into their space. And we'll see you next time.
Oui, un gros merci.